Do you know platypuses, right?
Yeah.
They can sense like electrical impulses in their snouts.
Really?
So they can sense their prey's like muscles contracting through fear of being hunted, and that's how they hunt them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Fuck off LinkedIn. So yeah. Welcome, Freddie, and welcome all to the first episode of the Coffee Order podcast.
There we go.
Welcome. Please hide your logos.
Yeah. No free endorsements.
No free endorsements.
So, what's the vibe, my friend?
The vibe is we're just going to sit down, we're going to have a chat about life, about everything that's going on, anything you want to bring up, anything I want to bring up, whatever. But first and most importantly, my friend, what's in your cup?
So I'm a very simple man.
We know.
I don't do coffee, I don't do tea, but one thing I do is hot chocolate. So that's what I want, a very simple hot chocolate. What is in your cup, my friend?
Americano, no sugar, or milk.
Bit of a basic drink.
It's literally just a black coffee, yeah. But yeah.
Disgraceful.
Do you want to introduce yourself to the lovely people of 87 Cinematic?
Hello, people of 87 Cinematic. I am Freddie, also known as the Geekdom. I'm a Lego YouTuber here on YouTube. I'm sure this is posted on YouTube, Spotify, whatever it's posted on.
It will be, yeah.
So basically what I do is I talk about nerdy stuff for a living, and this wonderful man here, 87 Cinematic, is usually making me look a fool on camera. So
Not on camera, you make yourself look a fool on camera. I just show the world.
he just shows the world my foolishness. So today I'm here to be a fool in person.
Yes. So we've just recorded your first podcast on the Geekdom channel, which is a lot more focused than this one will be. This one will be a lot of waffle, a lot of...
Mine's a lot more planned.
We had a running order for this. We've got nothing for this. We're just kind of going off the top of our heads. We've had a whole host of tech issues.
Yeah.
This is our first time, so do bear with in case, anything sounds a bit wrong. But I have some exciting news for the people of the world.
Hit them. Hit me. I'm intrigued. What's going on?
I have a brand new short film coming out soon.
Oh, very nice.
On the 7th of April.
Oh, that's not too far away.
It's not too far away.
Hit us with a vibe. What are we talking
All right,
here?
so the vibe we're talking, here's our little synopsis. Our good friend Nat Letney, who's appeared in, I think, only one other short film on the channel, but we know him quite well.
We do.
He is playing the lead character of Callum. And Callum is a bit lost in the world. He really wants to be an author. Mm-hmm. And when he was in college, he had the opportunity to meet his hero, basically. A writer he idolized who wrote a series of sort of crime thriller novels that he was obsessed with in college. And then when he finished college, he was able to get a job as that writer's assistant. And this writer... he's also a bit lonely, a bit lost. Yeah, he's getting on a bit, and unfortunately, at the start of the film, he does pass away. But he's got no family, no relatives, nothing like that. So he ends up leaving everything to Callum, and as Callum explores his home, and more importantly, the items within his home, he discovers a lot about Fraser, who's a writer, and a lot about himself, and it's his own journey, both as a writer and as a man in this society.
Is your image are you looking for more of a flashback thing, or is it the audience pieces together what we've got from these objects, or are you actually going to show...
So the whole thing, other than a few lines... is voiceovers, mainly from Callum's diary that he writes every night before he goes to bed. And others are from letters and diaries and stuff from Fraser, who's actually voiced by my dad.
Oh, wow, okay.
Which is quite funny.
That's funny, I like that.
So, yeah, it's a lot of voiceovers and then corresponding footage that goes with it. So sometimes it is a flashback to just a few hours ago. Well, they're all a few hours ago. There's no big... jump flashbacks, but I had a really good time making this film. It's one of the better films I've made production wise.
And how many films have you made so far?
Let me think. I've done so on this channel. There is the Sally House. I don't think you were in that one.
I don't think so. I've only been in a couple.
No, Nat was actually in that one. I was in the Sally House, which Nat was in. I did Roses, which you were in.
I was in Roses, yeah.
I did Fortune and Fame, which Nat was in. You were meant to be in, but you were busy, so it's fine.
Scheduling conflicts.
Scheduling conflicts. You know how it is. The world famous geekdom. And I think that's the last one I've done. So there's 4 on this channel. There was 5. There was obviously Leslie.
Yes.
But I took that down because of some privacy issues. Basically, there was something in the film. I won't say what, but it was couldn't have been in. I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay. No.
But yeah, there was something in there that would should it have gone sort of even like semi-viral, it could have been a problem.
Right.
You know,
okay,
if the wrong person saw it, basically.
I understand. Okay.
But also, I found out the other day, just through browsing YouTube, someone else has done a film called Leslie based on the same song I did.
Oh, wow.
They did it like 3 months ago, and it's got like 1.2 million views.
How was it? Was it good?
I haven't seen it. I'm too upset.
Wow. Someone might have nicked your idea, mate.
They might have done, probably not, because it is just like, it's a story in a song.
Yeah.
Like, it's just annoying because theirs looks miles better, because obviously I'd made mine before doing any film education.
That's true. And plus they might have bigger budget, you never know. Like these
I think it was an indie film, but either way, like, I just stumbled upon it right before going to bed, and I was a bit upset, because I thought I was
I thought
I was special.
Yeah, I feel that.
But it is what it is.
8 other YouTube channels with geekdom in the name, mate.
I know
exactly how you feel.
I know. I mean, looking for this, I went through about 5 different titles, just googling like podcast names.
Yeah, I thought we had a couple of good ones.
We had a couple of good ones. We were going to call
taken.
it the Coffee Run, because we thought that was a bit more like film related. What did you come up with?
I had Coffee Break.
Coffee Break. That's done. I had. Obviously, the coffee order is what we landed on. I can't remember.
I like the coffee order, though. I think it...
I agree. It encapsulates the same vibe.
Plus, whenever we bring people on, we can ask them what's in their cup. I like it. It's nice.
Yeah. It will sort of regularly be myself and Freddie on this show, as you can tell from the thumbnails, which have your name on it. Which, by the way, as simple as that was, took me fucking ages, because I fucking hate Photoshop.
Mate, you should have just asked me to do it. I do Photoshop every day of my life.
I know, and they do look a bit shit, so I might ask you to spruce them up.
Yeah, I can always just do another one for you if you want.
I might ask you to spruce them up. But yeah, so whilst we're on the subject of that, Spotify, make sure you go stream it on there as well.
Yes,
because
Spotify and
it really helps us out. And if we're going to try and get it on Apple Podcasts. Right now, I've set up the Spotify, and then after this, we're going to try the Apple Podcasts. If they do work, they will be linked in the description.
And while you're down there, sub to his channel.
Sub to me, and also, of course, the Geekdom will be linked in there. Although he's significantly more subs than myself.
Yeah, and also I don't know if I'm going to be your audience's kind of cup of tea or coffee or.
Hey.
But you never know.
Oh, the comedy on this show.
Rob's going to make more appearances over there. So if you like this man, he'll be over there. So you go there as well.
It's a good laugh. Have you, my friend, little segue here, seen the Best Actor Oscar?
I steered clear of the Oscars this year because I thought some of the nominees were a bit touch and go, and also I just sometimes think it's a bit biased. I find that the Oscars, I feel like they take the wrong things into account. I feel like if it's an indie Czechoslovakian movie that was made with £2 of a budget, that'll win an Oscar, but something that's actually successful in the box office doesn't win, and that's just my personal thoughts. So I tend to steer clear of the Oscars, but You've mentioned once or twice that there's been 1 or 2 controversies that you wanted to talk to me about. So
I'm going to put this out there. I'm not massively aware of everything that went on, because there was quite a lot this year. So just to put this out there, we're not going to touch on the Emilia Perez controversy, just because we don't know anything.
Yeah, we don't know
enough about it, and I don't like talking about things that I can't explain very well.
Yeah.
But what we are going to talk about is the use of AI in film projects and other stuff, because obviously right now I believe it's still going on, the strike for video game and voice actors.
Yes.
Or if it's not still going on, it's a recent event.
It was definitely still going in the past couple of days, because I do a bit of voice acting myself, and I follow a lot of my kind of idols, and they're all out
striking
it and stuff like that.
Well, because, and as well, the writer strikes, I believe they were 2023 or 2024, something like that.
They've been going on for quite a long time, but yeah, I think they ended around.
Well, there was
2024.
Yeah, there was definitely one during the shooting of Deadpool and Wolverine, and during Oppenheimer, because the cast obviously walked out at the premiere. So I just want to get sort of your thoughts on sort of AI in media, because I have some very strong thoughts about it.
My thing is, so when like ChatGPT and stuff came about and it became like a big thing.
Yeah.
Right? I used it all the time at school.
Yeah.
Because I'd get out of doing stuff. But I mean, like, I see my dad and he's like fawning over the wonders of AI and stuff. But I'm just like, it's great if you need like a fact. I mean, I think Apple now have pretty much replaced Siri with it.
Yeah, well, they're claiming that AI stands for Apple Intelligence, not artificial intelligence, which is the most Apple thing I've heard of in my life.
So if it's like, okay, what was the headline of a certain newspaper in 1941, right? Okay,
right.
That's helpful because it will scan the internet for you and it will find stuff for you.
Saves time.
I think art is a very personal thing.
Right.
I think art has a stamp of every artist. So not all music is going to sound the same because every artist puts their own stamp on it. Every director is a director because it's their way of doing things. I mean,
same with writers.
Yeah, you look at some directors and it's very clear which director it is through the style.
Yeah.
And I feel like now I don't 100% know. I know that with one of the films that Warner got nominated did use a fair bit of AI or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's appalling because I think it's. Everyone's always talking about how robots are going to take everyone's jobs and all this stuff. But if we literally, like, the most personal thing in the world is art, and if we replace that by someone else doing it quicker than us because it's a computer, then I just think it's a downfall.
Here's my thing, right? In my head, there are 3 reasons why you would use AI. One, because you yourself cannot do something. So, for example, I'm not very good at graphic design, so if I wanted a new logo, I might get an AI to make one for me.
But even so, you're going to struggle with that because it all looks AI.
Right, okay. So, and then another reason would be you don't want to then take the time to learn how to do what you get an AI to do.
That's true.
So, graphic design. Or because you do not want to pay another person who has the skills you do not to do it for you. So you're either being cheap or lazy if you use AI, in my opinion.
I like that, I think that's a fair take. I feel like everyday use of AI for just personal use, like if you were trying to learn how to use graphic design, and you ask AI what's the best place to learn, that's great.
My thing, AI should be an assistant, not a boss.
Exactly. I think
so. For example, in Premiere Pro or After Effects, whatever, there are some AI tools which allows you like to
extend images and stuff.
To extend images. Yeah. Well, my example that I always use is like tracking points. So if I wanted to track your face, there is AI that will identify 2 eyes, nose, mouth. That's a face. Do, and that could save an editor a couple hours of tracking.
Because then that's more of a tool. But I think
that's a tool. Exactly.
People are using AI to say, instead of just using it for like, can you identify what's a face? They're going, edit this video for
Exactly. That's why, and the reason they're doing that is because they either can't be bothered to edit themselves, don't know how to edit themselves, or don't want to pay an editor to edit themselves. Yes. So they get an AI to do it for free. Whereas if an editor gets, paid to do like 5 videos and they just get an AI to do it for them, you don't need to pay someone for that because you could just do that AI yourself. So you're not, as an editor, if I was working for you and I needed to track, I can use AI. I think it's fine for me to use AI as an assistant to track that plot.
Absolutely, yeah.
But then what I do with those tracking like keyframes, so say I wanted to replace your face, like I've done it before where I've masked your face out and put it on a bride and you're marrying Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, I remember that.
That was quite fun. So I might use AI to identify your face to mask it out.
Yes.
But then I'm myself putting Ryan Reynolds in, putting the bride in, putting you in the position.
It needs to be, I get it if you're trying to make something a tiny bit easier. But so hang on, just before we continue.
You can't even see the mugs on camera, so
what actually happened?
So the lead, from my research, and again, I've not done loads, so feel free to correct me in the comments. From my research, the Adrian Brody or something.
Another name.
The actor who won Best Actor.
Yeah. Did he win?
Yeah, he did win.
Okay.
Because his speech was in the pot of controversy, but I'm not going to touch on that because I don't really care.
I did see that,
his character was British, so he had to do a British accent, but he's like, I think he's Hungarian born, and he really struggled with certain words for a British accent. So, some of it they did live, some of it they did in ADR, and the bits he really struggled with, they got an AI to do for him.
Right.
So for me, he's consented, he's struggling, you want to make it better. I think it's okay to use AI in that scenario, but it should disqualify him from winning an Oscar because it's not
him. It's not
his performance.
I mean, first of all, my issue with it is, if you are auditioning someone, I mean, the thing is, you probably didn't even have to audition. A lot of these big actors, they get through on recommendation, or at least they get into the final few just because of their name and stuff.
And if he knows the director as well, a lot of times.
Exactly. So, but let's say it was an audition.
Yeah.
They've auditioned him, and they've thought, if there's any inkling that he's going to struggle with a British accent, you can't cast the guy.
Yeah.
And if it's getting to a point where you're struggling in ADR to do it, then
when you can in ADR, I imagine they would have either a dialect coach or a real person with that accent, or someone who really has that accent, I should say. Say, sorry if you heard my phone, it should be on silent. Say the line he's meant to say. So let's say you were American and you had to do my accent and you had to say, I'm going to the shop.
Yeah, you just got to
So
listen to you.
I would then say, I'm going to the shop. And you repeat it and I'd say, no, this needs to sound more like this. And you would do it and then you'd record it and then boom, put it in.
That's the thing. A lot of these things, I mean, I know a lot of actors, they do end up needing dialect coaches, which is absolutely fine because it's expected. It's a part of your skill.
But then as well...
You need to be able to deliver.
Yeah, but also, if you can now just say, oh, well, we'll get an AI to do your lines in that accent, you're now eliminating a whole industry in dialect coaches. Because why would you pay someone to teach your actor to do something when you can then get an AI to do it for them?
You're eliminating dialect coaches. You're eliminating probably the purpose of ADR at the end of the day because you're literally going to be able to like get an
AI to
do it. And when do we draw the line? Because for voice acting, which is, in my opinion, a very respectable profession, because
100%.
If you can act as well as some people do with the amount... You've played the Spider-Man game, for example.
Yeah. 100%.
The emotion that Yuri Lowenthal puts forth in that game is unparalleled for me.
Yeah.
Right? And he's doing that in a booth.
Yeah.
He's not like... So, for me, if you can replace a voice with AI...
Yeah.
For long stretches of time. The more we allow it to happen in short bursts, the more impressive it will become.
Yeah.
To the point where, when do we start eliminating people? You know what I mean? Because if you can make a show without having to hire actors...
Why would you hire an actor?
Why would you hire an actor?
Which is exactly why, these strikes are going on.
It's happening in the video game industry as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the...
AI to make video games now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my little rant.
About AI.
This podcast is basically my excuse to rant about things that upset me in the world.
I get that. I feel that. I've got plenty to rant about that upset me in the world. So, yeah, happy to.
Care to share anything?
There's just so much stuff going on at the minute in the world that just really annoys me. And AI is very much included in it. I feel like we're like a lot of people, in business specifically, I feel like art is becoming less important to people than money. And I know that's always sort of been the case. But I see, so like, for example, we've just filmed our podcast on the Geekdom channel.
Yep.
We spoke about Captain America, the new film. And
sorry if you can hear a dog.
You know the scene with the green screen?
Yeah.
When I was watching it, I very much felt to myself, they just wanted to put a movie out, didn't they? They wanted to make a movie, and they've just done this as fast as they can, with the smallest budget they can, and flung it out there to try and make money. And that irritates me.
It's no longer about the passion, it's about the money.
Exactly. I feel like a lot of things have lost heart recently.
I feel like that's kind of like just like a cycle of the world. Is something new happens, and it's like the first people on the scene are there because they love it. When you thought about like the Superman series in like the 50s, that was nowhere near as much pay as well paid as like Henry Cavill got from Man of Steel.
It was the 70s.
Was it the 70s? My apologies. The Superman series in the 70s was nowhere near as not the films, the TV series.
Oh, the TV.
Yeah, that was in the 50s.
I take back my comments.
Exactly.
The 50s.
Humble yourself.
So the black and white one, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a Superman series, and it was obviously nowhere near as well paid as Henry Cavill got for the Man of Steel.
Oh God, yeah, no.
So the reason the money comes in is because it gets popular, and then as soon as something starts generating money, it becomes more of a business. And you look at it even like with YouTubers, it used to be you just set up a camera, you wouldn't give a shit about the lighting, the audio, anything. You would just have fun. Now, most successful YouTubers are in a big soundstage
Yeah.
with 20 cameras, 20 microphones, guests, a production team.
You can't. I feel like you're going to really struggle on YouTube these days if you don't have the money to back yourself up.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, you look at people like Josh Zerka, right? One of the first
Goat of the scene.
One of the first big ones, right? He's a goat. He's great. And I went back and looked at some of his like old videos the other day, and it's literally like he's filming on the world's worst camera. It's literally a camera on his couch with him and Tobe Jizzle just sat there, right?
Yeah, tripods didn't exist on YouTube before like 2000.
They were just leaning it up against books and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but it banged.
Well, like 2018, no one used a tripod.
I feel like there's more heart in it.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, your YouTube, it's no longer a hobby anymore. I feel like anyone who makes a YouTube channel, they're looking for it to be a business. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just one of those things in the world. This is going to be a really depressing podcast. So let's talk about something more fun, Freddie.
Yeah, okay.
What are you finding fun right now?
What am I finding fun right now? I'm just kind of enjoying just taking things a bit easy at the minute. I mean,
Taking things easy.
I'm not working as much as I used to be, so I'm just I'm enjoying my life. I'm spending some time with my girlfriend, spending some time with my friends.
Love. Any games, any shows, anything?
Any games, any shows. So I'm obviously watching Daredevil at the minute.
Which
We've been talking about this
extensively about.
So I'm really loving Daredevil. Started Invincible as well, which is great. I'm looking into getting a Steam Deck. I don't know if you know what one of those is.
It's like a Nintendo Switch for Steam, right?
Yeah, basically. So I really want to get into some games on that as well. I want to look into emulation. I'm just really interested in all that
that's
stuff.
like the old Nintendo stuff, right?
Yeah, I want to emulate like old Nintendo games on like GTA Vice City and stuff like that.
Right. Oh, nice.
But something I really want to do, something I'm quite excited about, which I'm hoping you'll be a part of actually. I have a second channel.
Yep, gaming channel.
Geekdom Games. It has 2 videos on it, I think, 3 videos, and they're all board game related.
Right.
And I'm planning to just start just playing some games, and I need people to come on with me. I want to do some Rivals, which I know you love Marvel Rivals.
Been banging that.
So we could play that. That I'm really looking forward to. Mm-hmm. I took a bit of a break from YouTube.
Yeah.
Since like Christmas, but I've uploaded a couple of videos and I've been really enjoying them. So yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah, well, I've been getting back into Ultimate Team on FIFA. So I play FIFA like all year round, but I normally just play the career mode, which for I don't know how much you know about FIFA.
I know nothing about
you either make a brand new player and you play out their career as a player, or you make a manager and you'll take over a team, and you can either just like stay as that team, or you might start in a lower league and build up.
I thought that was already a game. Like, Championship Manager's quite a good game, but it's like, is it like the same thing?
It's a similar thing, but normally like FM, which is just Football Manager, is you like control the tactics and then like the players do it for you. Whereas in FIFA, you can then like go onto the pitch and control each of the players, and like you make all the signings, do all the tactics and stuff. So yeah, I've been pretty much always doing like career mode, and I'll always do Ultimate Team a bit at the start, but just get bored. But then I like recently, I've just really been getting back into my Ultimate Team because I've had a new lease of life on gaming where
me too.
I want to be better than people.
Oh really? You're feeling a bit competitive?
Yeah.
You see, I've gone the complete other way.
Really?
Because I used to be really competitive with it, even though I tend to suck.
Yeah.
Like games like Marvel Rivals, I'm rubbish at. But for example, I hate the fact that I'm saying this, but Fortnite, right? For a long time, I was really good at it, and then I just fell off. So I've really been getting into my comfortable gaming. I mean, my girlfriend's obsessed with a game called Stardew Valley, which is basically a farming simulator.
Right.
It's like 8-bit farming simulator. It is so chill. Like, it just calms. I just watch people play it. It just calms me down. Like, but that, and I'm really enjoying my story-driven games. I've restarted Spider-Man PS4, and I'm really enjoying that.
I've never. Well, I used to like story games a lot more, but like I was talking about this with you. When I play games, I normally have Spotify game and YouTube on at the same time, and I struggle to pay attention to the story whilst all those things are on.
Your attention span's awful.
It's pretty good most of the time, though.
You're that guy who watches TikToks with Subway for Surfers on the bottom.
No, I hate that. No, this is. I was gonna skip. I thought of this, but I was gonna skip past it because you were trying to be positive. I fucking hate TikTok now.
Really?
It's my least favorite app right now.
Just like, I don't know. I use it for information, but I see so much brain rot that just pisses me off.
It's not that. It's what it is for me. Is there are so many TV shows, films, podcasts, YouTube videos that I see clips of on TikTok that I think, wow, this is really entertaining. I'll watch the whole thing. It'll be like a 4 or 5 minute clip. And I'll never go and watch that film. So the people who've actually put, time, money, effort, creativity into making that product are never going to benefit from my appreciation for that show.
That's true.
And that's probably my fault for I should probably look at a clip and go, that's a good film, I'll go watch that.
Yeah.
But I feel like
it just happens when you're doom scrolling though. You don't want to go and do anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's made me like I will wake up at like 5:45 and just scroll till about 7:15.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, my bus is at 7:10 and now I've got to rush around the house getting ready.
See, my thing is, do you remember when Avengers Endgame came out and there was that massive don't spoil culture?
Yeah.
Like nobody was spoiling that film.
No.
Right? I feel like whenever something's posted, the second the show's out, the movie's out, it's on TikTok. And it's ruined, like, for Daredevil Born Again, a show that I'm super excited about. I'm so glad you've not got any spoilers.
Yeah.
But I've had, like, the biggest moment of, like, episode 2 completely spoiled for me by it.
Well, I stayed off social media after, I think it was Captain America come out. I stayed off social media for 2 days because I watched it like the second or third day. It come out on like the Friday. I watched it on the Sunday, I think. So I avoided like as many spoilers as possible. I didn't see anything about that. I'd only seen what was in the trailers, just because it's just I had a really with Last Jedi. I knew Snoke died going into it.
Really?
I found that out before. And ever since that, I've just been avoiding spoilers because before I was like, I don't really care. I'm going to find out anyway.
Yeah.
And then when you go and watch a film knowing how it ends,
it takes away from it.
Especially because I love the cinema. Yeah. Like the cinema is such a better experience.
The best vibes, man. I love the cinema, man.
I feel like this is quite an our generation thing of disliking the cinema.
Nobody goes.
Yeah.
Nobody I know goes. Like the only time that I ever see people going is like they're going on a first date. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas, like, I'm going... If there's ever a movie...
If there's a film I want to watch, I will push to see it in the cinema.
But the thing is, because everyone has those, like, dodgy fire sticks nowadays. Like, even my dad... I don't. Legally, I am obligated to say that I don't. But I do. My dad's, like... He's... Whenever we're saying, oh, this film looks really good, should we go see it? He's like, just wait. Like, 2 weeks, it'll come out. And I'm like,
I feel like they're coming out on, like, digital a lot sooner.
They are, to be fair. Because I think they're trying to combat that...
Right.
Because people are like, well, if they're going to watch it at home, watch it our way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Particularly things that are like as close-knit as Disney+. Like, I think Captain America's going to be on there in like a week, which is really quick.
It's good in terms of like, now there's more of a rush to see it in cinema because if it's coming out on digital sooner, it'll be in cinema less time. But it's just kind of, and like... whenever a new Marvel film or whatever come out, we'd always go watch it in the cinema. Normally me and my older sister, and sometimes my younger ones if they were interested in it, if it was like the right character or whatever. And then there'd be like it was always like 3 to like 6 months of waiting for either the DVD, because we're that sort of generation, or now more streaming. And it would always be like, just waiting for that thing. And like as good as it is that we can still enjoy it in the cinema and then come back to it, it's just bad for like cinemas in general because people will just go less.
I mean, a lot, specifically in the US, a lot of cinemas are shutting down.
I feel like there's a lot more independent cinemas in the US as well. Like here it's always like a View or what's Odeon. The other one, Odeon
or something like that. But like in America there's a lot of independent cinemas and they are all shutting down because nobody's going, which I think's awful. Like, if there's one thing I want to stick around in the movie industry, it's stuff like that. Yeah. Because that's what the movies are intended for. You're supposed 100%. To see them on a big, beautiful screen.
I mean, like, so many... I know I'm a big fan of Christopher Nolan films.
I've not seen too many, but I do love the Dark Knight trilogy.
Well, so many of them are made for cinema screens and cinema sound. So if you watch Tenet at home, it sounds really bad because it's been specifically made for those, and it was really bad timing because it came out during COVID.
Oh,
God, or soon afterwards. So they weren't. Yeah, that's none were really open.
But I just think that I don't know the cinema. I mean, specifically for me, I don't know about you. You just said you always go with your sister or whatever, but I don't know. I used to go with my brother and my mum. Like it'd be like a family
day out.
Yeah, you'd go and see a film. Like some of my favourite films are my favourite films because I've seen them at the cinema. But yeah, so
cinema banging.
Cinema was great.
Go to the cinema, people. That's our thing.
Please go to the cinema. Help out. But yeah, basically, we need to support the industry more.
I agree.
We need to not use AI. We need to go out. We need to get movies the right way. I mean, I'm not going to, like... It's such a difficult thing to combat because everyone can get it for free, so it's just like...
There's always a Fire Stick or a site somewhere.
Exactly. But anyway, with regards to video games, because that was our original
video
topic.
games, of course.
What's another thing? I've been joining you on the career mode thing, but for Formula 1.
Oh, okay.
Formula 1 career mode. And F1's back next weekend, so I'm
Formula 1
very
like
excited.
your sport?
Yeah, Formula 1's my sport.
Is there anything else you really follow?
So, my family's a big baseball family.
Really?
Yeah, massive baseball family. I've been to a few games in America. Because my
Do you have a team, a family team?
Yeah, we're Blue Jays fans. The Toronto Blue Jays. So my dad is Canadian.
Oh,
So
okay, that makes
Canadian
sense.
team.
That makes more sense.
But basically, half my family's up in Scotland. So whenever we go up to Scotland, we all play baseball.
Oh, okay.
It's just been a thing since me and my brother were born, basically. Now the thing is, I don't particularly like watching baseball over the TV because it can be quite...
It's very boring.
Quite long.
It's incredibly boring.
Going to watch it like in a stadium, going to watch a game of baseball is absolutely amazing.
Well, it's more of it's like a social event sport.
Definitely. And it's like, I must say, like it's a lot grander than a football game.
I feel like the point of... Are you talking NFL or football?
Football, British football.
Right, so I feel like a football game, the whole point is you're going for the game and you meet the people there. I feel like baseball, you're more going for the people there and your common, like, the sport kind of just happens to be there.
It's quite strange, really, because I know exactly like you're saying, excluding a handful, for example, Wembley and the Nou Camp and stuff, a lot of stadiums in the UK don't get as much money pumped into them as the team.
Right, yeah.
Whereas when you're in America, we went to Yankee Stadium, that thing is gorgeous. Like, the stadiums are... You can tell a lot of money's been pumped in there.
Yeah, I think I feel like that... English football is a lot more about like history and heritage.
Exactly.
So you look at... I'm a United fan. I don't know if I've said that before on the channel, but I'm coming out now as a United fan. Although I have been for a while. There's a lot of talk about our stadium right now. It's pretty much just not fit for purpose. It leaks all the time. There was a point where, when it was really rainy last season, it was like the 8th largest waterfall in the UK.
Wow. From
the top of the roof down to the pitch.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
With the amount of rain there was, it was leaking. You had people turning up with like umbrella hats on in the away end, and like snorkels and scuba gear to make fun of it. And like there's reports of like concrete falling down.
Oh God. But see, that's the thing.
It's really like quite small for the amount of like people there. Like there's not a lot of leg room. So there's a lot of talk of either spending like $2.5 billion to renovate the whole stadium, or spending probably about $1 billion building an entirely new one. So, business-wise, obviously you would go for the new one.
But let me ask you this, right? Because, so, I'm not football.
Inclined.
It's just not my thing, right? But I've been to a few games in my life, but my whole family are.
Yep.
So my brother and my dad are massive supporters of Blackburn Rovers.
Scum.
Right? So I've been to a few games, and you can see it when you go to Ewood Park. Like, it is awful. Like, it's a rubbish stadium. It's a bit scummy. It's a bit dirty. It's rubbish, right? But I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm obviously not a football fan, but like, is that not part of it?
That's the charm of it, because football's always been a working class sport.
Do you not want a new stadium because you want to keep the stadium?
United have always been at Old Trafford. It's like 150 years old, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. The red brickwork is like iconic in especially English football, but just football in general.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point where, you know, not to make this too much about football and United and stuff, but the investment from the owners, and I will whinge about the owners because it's correct, they are shit. Fuck the Glazers. It's just not gone into the stadium to the point where we now are looking at probably needing a new one. And the new stadiums, they're very modern. They don't really in keep with the tradition and the soul of a football club.
Yeah.
Like United is an old team. Mm-hmm. We've got heritage and history that a lot of other teams, if they had half of it, would be, second most successful team in the world or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, like other than like Real Madrid, Liverpool, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and then, a lot of the Italian teams like your Milans and your Juventus. Other than the big teams, like United are up there with I always say top 3 like biggest in the world, but obviously I'm biased.
Biased, yeah.
But also like to me, size of club doesn't matter as much. All that really matters is what's on the pitch. But without this going too much down a football trend, it's like a lot of the culture of the club is steeped in the history, which I feel like is different, especially for a lot of American sports. Because you're looking at now, I don't know how much you follow basketball.
Not at all.
Not at all, right. Basically, there's a conspiracy theory that the owners of I think it's the Dallas Mavericks, who just traded their star player to the LA Lakers, who you should know.
Yeah, I know who the Lakers are.
Yeah. And there's basically a conspiracy theory that they want to move their team to Vegas, but you can't move a successful team, basically. It's not an official rule, but the NBA just won't allow it. If your team's not successful, then they will be more open to relocation. So, for example, there was the Seattle Supersonics, which are now in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Because they weren't a very successful team when they relocated. Okay. So there's a big conspiracy theory about that. So if you're looking at that from like an English sports perspective, the only time I can really think of that was AFC Wimbledon and MK Dons. So basically, MK Dons was founded because the owner of AFC Wimbledon moved them out of Milton Keynes, I believe. I might be getting this wrong. I might be getting the teams wrong, but basically, an owner moved a team from where they were. So the fans basically made their own team, and that has successfully climbed the football ladder to the point where they're now in the same league.
Oh, wow,
Wimbledon and MK Dons, or they were a few seasons ago. One of them might have gone up or down. Well, but I feel like the history and the heritage is a lot more important in English football than it is in a lot of American sports.
Well, let me ask you this, right? Have you ever heard of the ship of Theseus?
Is that the thing they talk about in One Division?
Yes, it is. So let me ask you this: if they moved if they took every single actual bit of red brick, and they built pretty much the same stadium, but sturdier, somewhere else, is it the same stadium for you? Would you feel at home, or would you feel like it's a completely different place?
First of all, I just want to address the elephant in the room. I'm not a regular Old Trafford visitor. I've only ever been once. I want to go more. I don't currently have the means to do more. Not to mention ticket prices going up.
Yep.
But, so if in an ideal world, I would love to have a season ticket, and if I had the funds to do it, I would, and like the ability to get there and etc., I would 100% have a season ticket. But I don't. But for me, as a fan who really appreciates the history of the club, Old Trafford is that turf.
Yeah.
Old Trafford is the red brick. So to renovate Old Trafford as it is in the exact same spot, you need to keep the red brick and you just make everything better around it, right? If you knock it down, use the same materials in a different place, to me it's not the same. So there's a lot of talk, which I feel like they're going to end up doing. They're going to build a new stadium in the same area.
Okay.
And they're going to reduce Old Trafford capacity for the women's team and the academy teams.
Okay.
Which I think is taking my, super fan tribalistic head out of it and looking at it from a perspective of the owners of so we've got the Glazers who own it, and we've got Jim Radcliffe, who's a British billionaire who's a minority shareholder, but basically he's in charge of all the football decisions and a lot of the business decisions. The Glazers just own they don't actually own most of the shares, but they just own enough to be the majority holders, and they have it spread amongst, it's a family of them, so they have it spread. So basically, Jim Radcliffe's the one who's kind of running it, and he's come out and doing an interview basically saying we're broke, and he's getting a lot of flack because he's making some decisions that are very unpopular. Like he's fired a lot of the staff, which has cost money. He's cut donations to charity, which is not a good look.
Yeah, it's not a good thing to do.
Cut down the free lunches for staff, staff bonuses, stuff like that. And it's...
Now, are all the players still getting paid however monstrous amounts of money they're getting?
Yes, but he is trying to move some of them on. So Rashford's been loaned out, and we're covering 30% of his wage, which is in the ballpark of £300,000 to £375,000 a week. Jadon Sancho, we currently pay half his salary, which is again $250,000 to $300,000 a week.
Outrageous.
Casemiro barely plays; he's on similar $350,000, $375,000 a week. territory. So we're paying that. It is a lot harder to move that substantial money along. So you would hope, and I don't know why he's not come out and said this if this is the case, but you would hope these hard decisions he's making now are temporary until we're able to sort out the mess that the previous regime has put in place.
Right.
So the previous regime was very much, we buy superstars, we give them superstar money. If we'd have been carrying on like that, we would have gone bust, according to Jim Radcliffe.
Right.
And obviously I'm not a financial expert, I've not seen the books, so I'm just going to take his word for it.
Yeah, okay.
And a lot of other reliable sources have been saying similar things. But I don't know why he's not come out and said, look, we're in a shit show right now, we've not got the money. I mean, he's come out and said this, he's come out and said it's a shit show, we've not got the money. As soon as we, reduce our wage bill, which we're trying to do, and reduce our debt, which we're in, I think, £700 worth of debt, including interest and repayments and stuff like that. It might even be more. I think it might be close to £1 billion. Then I will bring back the charity donations. Then I will bring back these things, these bonuses, these meals, stuff like that. Because that seems like, because when you look at, we've recently fired our coach and fired our director of football.
Okay.
Which in total, and from bringing in new people in those positions, probably cost around 30 mil.
Wow.
And when you're cutting 40 grand a year in charitable donations, isn't going to make a dip. It's a drop in the water, that sum of money to that club.
That's true.
So as much as it's fine margins and, any difference is difference, it's not in the grand scheme of things going to bring the club forward as much as, say, persevering with it, or having a reduced wage bill. So if he was saying, look, we're in this financial situation, we're going to do these decisions which, will help us but aren't, where we're going to be. Then once we've reduced our wage bill, there's talks of them, capping the wage at like 150 grand a week, which is still ridiculous, but
so much money.
Football-wise, it's not a lot.
It's not a great deal, yeah.
So if he ends up capping it at, let's say, 150 or 200,000 a week, which is, good money for a footballer, but there's places where you get miles more than that, then we'll bring back all these things which, we feel are important.
Yeah, I get that. I feel that. Wow, I've just learned so much about Man United.
Probably more than you ever wanted to learn.
I just did not expect to learn today.
That's the beauty of the podcast. We get
can just talk about whatever we want.
We can literally talk about whatever we want, and that's the thing. What? Just moving on from this, what's next for you? Do you think? Just in life in general.
So for life in general, I'm just trying to get a better job, basically.
Better job, yeah.
I want to be able to fund myself, fund my relationships, girlfriend, friends, and
girlfriend,
hopefully
friends,
fund the geekdom.
Yeah,
as much as I can.
Good. Was there ever, you've spoken about voice acting, is there any desire to go to delve into that a bit more?
So I was blessed with the opportunity to record some lines for an audiobook.
Oh, nice.
Which was really cool. It was my first ever experience in like a recording studio and stuff, and that was really great. So basically, I've always wanted to do that. It's like dream profession. When that comes out, I will be able to put myself on something which is called Spotlight, and for any viewers who don't know, it is basically Tinder for actors.
It's like an online agency.
Yeah, so if you can only get on there if you have a credit, and it's hard to get a credit without being on there. So it's a bit of a paradox.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to get this through another agency. Basically, once I'm on there, people will be able to say, he's done that, that's what he looks like, this is his kind of experience, and hopefully I'll get some more roles through that. But I'm not able to actually get on there until the thing's out and I'm credited. So.
But that's 100% happening?
Yeah, that's 100% happening. I've recorded it all. The book is, I think it's going into post-production pretty soon. As in, like, it's...
The audio.
Like, yeah, we've all... So the book's out. I've read it all.
Yeah.
It's a really good book.
Are you allowed to say what book it is?
Yeah, it's called Firestone Fantasy by Ella Summers, and it's on Amazon and stuff. But don't buy the book. Listen to me when it comes out. I
don't think you should be telling people not to buy the product.
No. They should be buying the audio.
Buy the audio
so that they can hear my beautiful voice.
Tell you what you do. Buy the audiobook, buy the hard copy, and read and listen, because scientifically you'll remember more of what you hear than what you read.
Exactly.
No, the other way around. You remember more of what you read than what you hear, but they add up together.
Basically, hopefully this opens doors for me.
Yeah.
Because the dream is to do that. It's to either do the geekdom
Yeah.
full time, which we're so close to because we've nearly hit the first goal, which is 1,000.
Yeah, so everyone go down there. We've got like 20 of you.
Yeah.
Are you 20 off?
I'm about 70, but I'll take 20.
We can get in there. Come on, we want it by. Have you got an aim?
Well, originally, I wanted to finish it by December of last year, but I had to take a break in between, so I didn't get the growth that I needed. But I just want to get it this year, as soon as it's possible. I mean, it'd be great to get it by about the middle of the year.
Middle of the year, that'd be nice. Yeah. So in terms of voice acting, have you ever considered just like regular acting, or has it always been voice acting?
So. I mean, as you well know, I enjoy a bit of acting. We've always done a bit of that.
Yeah.
Mostly theatre stuff. I don't particularly enjoy acting on camera. At least not in the experiences that I've had.
I'm offended.
Excluding you, of course. I like it when I'm on my own with my camera and my setup because I'm doing YouTube videos. Yeah. That's my kind of thing. But I feel like if I had more exposure to it, I'd be better. But I've always just been fascinated. I mean, I was speaking before, obviously, with regards to the voice actors and AI and stuff, but I've always just been so impressed by the fact that people can deliver so much emotion and so much power through their voice. Some of my favourite shows of all time and movies and stuff, they're all animated. I mean, Spider-Verse.
A lot of anime.
My Hero.
Yeah.
Lego Ninjago, which is basically what my entire
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Is what my entire channel is built on, because it's all stuff that I've grown up loving. The Clone Wars,
right? Rebels.
I've always been an impressionist. I've always been very interested in doing stuff with my voice. So I think it's always been there, but I've never known how to get into that because it's a different sort of thing. Like when we do so much acting like we do, you hear all about these people who've got agents and they're going to do auditions in person and all this stuff, and it's like a completely different realm. So I never knew anything about it, but I have a friend who managed to send me a bunch of different stuff, and I got an audition through them as well. So that's what led me to this book. So that was really cool.
Nice.
To do some more on that. Nice.
So you've obviously got the podcast coming out now. I'm kind of interviewing you, so
that's fine. That's fine.
Next week you'll interview me, or next month or whatever you'll interview me.
That's fine. Keep it going. Ask me some questions.
What's next for the Geekdom? You've obviously got this podcast coming out. Have you got any big plans?
So I'm hoping for a big year this year.
Big year.
I really want to lock in this year. As you know, I mean, the back half of my year is going to free up quite a bit, so I want to be able to put out as much content as I can.
When will that be? So like after September?
Probably around September time, yeah. I'm hoping to put out definitely a video a week like I've always been doing, but we're going to try and aim for more. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I want to try and do some alternate stuff. I mean, obviously we're doing this podcast, definitely monthly, hopefully a bit more if it starts popping off a little bit. Yeah, definitely. Which is really, really fun. I really enjoy doing that with you. Mic me, bro. Yeah, I really enjoy doing that with you. It's a great way to branch out from what I'm already doing.
Yeah.
But in keeping with what I'm already doing, for those of you who don't know me, what I do is Lego. Basically, I do custom designed Lego, and I talk about movies and stuff like that.
Yep.
We've discussed some bigger shoots over time.
We have.
We do have access to some
resources
that others might not have, which we're very lucky to have.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to do some big shoots like that.
We have connections.
We've got a few fun things. When I hit 1,000, I'd love to release some merch. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, we've been talking about this. We've got some plans. We've got our good friend Tubble's designing.
Yeah, he's designing. I've got a few ideas myself, particularly for the podcast. I mean, I've got some stuff already planned for the podcast and stuff.
We're hoping to get some more.
Yeah, we're hoping to deck this up a little bit. But I want to take what I've got and I want to grow it.
Just build.
I want to boost the second channel definitely because I really want to start gaming with
streaming.
You guys.
Is that a field? Not really.
Streaming definitely. I'm about to start a series actually, which is all going to get put onto Geekdom Games. I'm going to stream it all, cut it down, put it onto the channel, which I am going to start my playthrough of ideally every Lego game.
Okay.
So I'm in a couple of days' time. This will probably be out by then, but I'm going to start streaming Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga.
Nice.
The original Lego Star Wars.
Is that going to be like a solo thing, or is that...
Basically, because they're all two-player games, I'm hoping to have guests.
Nice.
So I can stream it by myself, but whenever I have someone who is willing to game, you're welcome on if you want to. I'll do some really fun two-player ones as well, where we can both get involved, which would be really nice.
Yeah.
So that's it. I just want to take what I've got. I want to make it big. I want to commit this year. I want to hit 1,000. That is the main goal of the year, and I'll do whatever it takes to get there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same right now. I've said, I don't know, if you don't know this, follow me on Instagram and you will have known this.
And follow me on Instagram.
And follow him on it. All the links in the description.
All the links, yeah.
I'm going to be releasing 3 projects this year.
Okay.
The first one, April the 7th.
Is what we spoke about before.
What we spoke about before.
Yep.
Second one, summertime. And the third one, closer to the end of the year.
Okay.
And basically, the idea is I've just decided that this year is going to be the best year of my life.
I feel that. Put that there. Me too, bro. Me too.
And I have a rule for this year.
Mm-hmm.
No second chances.
Elaborate.
So this goes both ways, right? So for me, anything that I'm presented with, any opportunities, treat it as if it's the only chance you're ever going to get at it. So just go for it 100%.
I like that.
Like
I
you've
like
got
that a
no
lot.
second chance at it. And the second one is, you know, coming back to me is like, don't expect, you know, don't be so willing to offer out second chances to other people who, you know.
I understand that. You know what? I've had a
Yeah.
similar mentality myself because I've been thinking about this. I feel like I'm too lax with myself.
I feel that I think, honestly, this is going to sound a bit up my own arse, but I don't really give a shit. I think I'm too nice to people.
Me too.
And I think I let people get away with certain
I think you've
things.
always done that. I think you let people get away with it when you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying be mean.
No, I'm not, not at all. But I'm just saying, like, in the past, if someone has made a joke at my expense, which I think is a bit out of order, I've let it slide.
You got to call them up. Yeah.
Whereas now, I'm just kind of like, all right. Or if someone's let me down, like, I've booked to do something and they've cancelled last minute, or they've not been prepared, or something like that, I'm just not going to work with them again.
I like that. I think that's
Is-
a really
is like
good,
my
I think
mentality.
That's a great way to think.
Because my whole thing with that is like, say I'm doing this film, someone's got a really big monologue that I want them to learn because of
gotta get it right
the
on
way
the
it's
day.
shot
Yeah.
and everything, and then they come in and they haven't learned it. That's really going to affect my film and my end product, which will then reflect probably worse on me
Yeah.
than on them, because I'm not the type of person who will come out in an interview and tear someone down, basically.
Yeah.
Well, so let's say the project in the summer, we're filming with Nat, and Nat's half an hour late. I'm not going to come on this and say, yeah, the film's really good, but fucking Nat was half an hour late. It's just going to be, I just won't invite him back next time.
And here's the thing. I mean, with stuff like that as well, you've got to.
Not that I think he would be.
You've got to take responsibility as well. I mean,
Yeah.
If I think it's a great idea because if you've cast someone who you know is going to cause you problems because they have done before, and you cast them again and they cause you problems, that's on you.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
And it's like, this is something I want to turn into a career, you know. I really want to make 87 Cinematic, you know, where I can make the short films and content that
And
I
you've got
really
some
want to
really
do.
exciting opportunities
And I've
coming
got
up as well,
some-
hopefully, that might further you on.
Exactly. Not only that, I've got in my notes app on my phone, it was at like 48 last time I counted. I've got damn near 50 films, or concepts at least, that I want to, you know, explore. And it's like, I don't want to, you know, trip up at the first hurdle.
Yeah.
Because getting the initial exposure, having talked to people through college and through like industry work and work experience, it's getting that first exposure and that first impression is key. And it's who you know. So I need something to present to a producer or an independent production company or a writer or a director or whoever it is to get that first big opportunity, and then it's then on me to take that. So that's, again, no second chance. Is like,
Yeah,
you know,
I like that.
if I get that opportunity, I'm gonna work for it. So that's why I finally said, let's fucking do the podcast. I'm getting more short films done, getting more writing done. I want to get more content done. I've got some ideas for that. Which
Have you got any like personal development that you've been thinking about or anything like that? Like, I know everything we've been speaking about so far has been very business oriented. It's about 87. It's about geekdom. Is there anything that you yourself are like excited to do for yourself? Anything just going on?
I do. Well, first of all, I need to pass my driving test. That's
That's big.
That's a big
huge.
one, because that will open a lot more doors just in terms of opportunity. I want to be a bit bolder, not just like content wise in terms of like what I'm actually doing, but also like sort of where I'm doing. I'm very much like, I like filming at home because I can control it a lot more, but I am more limited.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to go out and film in some more locations and, you know, maybe message people, ask to use their sort of locations and stuff like that. I want to do more paid sort of media work, whether that be, you know, editing for people. So if, you know, any opportunities come, DM me on Instagram for any editing opportunities or filming, directing, photography opportunities. I want to do more stuff because that's where I want to build a career, and I feel like the sooner I start, the better.
Yeah,
because I feel like I need to get experience and years under my belt.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good mentality you've got there.
And
drive you forward.
As well as that, music. I haven't spoken about it much on this channel, but for those who know me, I do you know, some music every now and then. I want to get back into that because it's just more writing, which I enjoy. Maybe get back into my instruments. I'm actually writing a play, which I was intending to. It's like a 2-person play, but it's mainly one person, which I was intending to act in, and I would get, you know, someone else, maybe yourself or someone else to direct. And like the main guy plays guitar, so that's kind of my excuse just to get back into my guitar again. And yeah, I guess just kind of improving everything that I enjoy and start, you know, just focusing on cutting out anything that causes me stress or anxiety or makes me upset, and just focusing more of my energy positively, like inwards and outwards.
So like a cleanse of your life, basically.
Yeah, I want to get everything a lot more in order. I want to be a lot more organised, and just you know, focus up on what, you know, really matters.
I like that. I think that's cool. I think that's a good mentality to have.
Right. Well, I think that's the perfect place to end it. I do know you need to leave
It's a nice positive
kind of
note.
soon. Nice positive note. Make sure you're checking it out on Spotify, and if there's a link in the description, Apple Podcast. It really does help us out. Make sure you check this guy out in the description below. I'm not sure when yours is coming now. Friday, did you say?
As soon as we can.
As soon as we can. His might be out. If not, then go subscribe and check it out when it comes out. We had a really great conversation about current Marvel stuff, current Invincible stuff. Do we discuss anything else really important?
All sorts of nice stuff that you'll have to find out over there.
Exactly. It's a really good watch. Well, thank you for joining me. I'll see you next month at some point, probably.
I'll see you next month.
See you very soon. Bye, guys.